So 7 wins on the bounce, and relentless is the word that you can use to describe the status of the Indian team right now. Into the semifinals straight away, no hiccups ever along the way. And is that a good sign, or is that going to cost us in the knockouts? I mean, we would like to believe it's going to be a straight through victory, and let's keep our fingers crossed. And to join, I'm now joined by Pradeep and Shravana to discuss how the journey has been for Team India so far throughout those games and the rest of the World Cup. It looks like a very one-sided affair, to say the least. I mean, you do have teams performing well, but there have been quite a few shockers along the way. Right, let's go straight at it and join in with Praneeth and Shravana. Praneeth, Shravana, how are you guys doing? And how has the World Cup been so far for you both?
Yeah, as an Indian fan, it was really great. The way, previous World Cup, there was only a certain group of people performing, right? Like only top three performing. Afterwards, you just hope, okay, fine, these guys click. I hope these guys click, then we will be fine, right? But in this World Cup, the top order has got runs. In the middle order, Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul has got runs, and the bowling, the way these guys are bowling, day in and day out, match after match, they are taking wickets. So I really hope that uh, we win this World Cup, and I really feel this could be the thing.
Well, I think anything less than a World Cup victory now would be an underachievement as far as this team is concerned. I heard somebody saying last night, I mean, it's an equivalent to what West Indies were in the 1980s, with the bat, with the ball in the field. So, what more a compliment you would want for Rohit Sharma and his men? And it does remind me of the 2003 Australian squad as well as the 2007. I mean, the way they played. I think India would be a touch better if I say so, because we never had anybody giving that tough time to us. I remember the game against England back in 2003 World Cup. Australia were playing England, and England were actually giving a bit of tough time, but eventually Australia won in the end. But then, I mean, when you compare India to that Australian team, we are there and thereabout, because it's all going to come down to how we perform on, in the semi-final and in the final. I mean, that has been, one step one stone that we haven't turned over yet. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that pans out. Shravana, how do you see South Africa? Your favorites, they have been absolutely there and thereabout and have had a brilliant World Cup so far. I mean, Temba Bavuma and his men seem to be men on a mission, especially the way Quinton de Kock and Klaassen are batting. I mean, I don't think, how the other teams will cope up with them. I mean, the rest of the World Cup is done almost now. It's just going to be the knockout stages. I mean, for us and for South Africa, it's just going to be those two games that would be way too vital.
Yeah, first of all, as an Indian fan, I couldn't ask more than this. This is the best Indian side I think ever could play the World Cup tournament. Actually, I have never seen this 1980 West Indies side, but I have seen this dominating Aussies from the early 2000 to the late 2010s. Those 10-12 years was a nightmare for any other cricket fan other than Australia. So if they come to World Cup, they will definitely win, whatever the circumstance. I could really remember one game against New Zealand when Australia gone for 84 for 7, but they went on to win that game by 96 runs. So that was quite an achievement. No other team should ever dare to dream that kind of innings. But what I've seen so far from India is every game was an one-sided affair. There was not even a challenge from any of the side. Even against the game against England, initially we thought that okay, this is not going to be a 300-run game, but somehow we will manage up to 280 or 270. Though we finished below par, the bowlers just gave some what do you say? It's really refreshing, and we used to pray for times like this, because as an Indian fan, we never had this pace battery working like this.
Honestly, I will tell you something. I'll interrupt you over here. I felt like we got the revenge of 1996 last night. I mean, the way
Yes.
we did that in the game against. I mean, in the World Cup game actually, because I was actually watching a game in Sharjah. I think I discussed this with you guys when we were on a podcast some time back. So in a Sharjah game, uh, 58 is something that we managed against Sri
Yeah.
Lanka, but they scored 299, right? And I was actually thinking, I mean, when can we do that? I mean, when can an Indian team would do that to a Sri Lanka? And there you have it. I mean, we have done it thrice in 1 year. What more, could you ask for? I mean,
Yes.
in Trivandrum, I guess, and then in Asia Cup, and
In
then
Asia
now.
Cup and now.
So there's nothing more that you could ask for. I mean, as an Indian fan, believe me, I am actually sitting there way too comforted, right? I know there's going to be a next player who's going to come in and perform. Okay, when Shami has the ball, I know he's going to deliver now, right? When Siraj is there, he's running up, he's going to try. When Bumrah is there, we know the game is under control. So it gives you that comfort. But as we approach the knockout stages, I mean, I can just talk about myself for now. I mean, I'm getting a bit fidgety. I don't know what's going to be the scenario. I mean, how they're going to play, just in case if we face Australia or New Zealand. It looks like one of those two teams. You never know. I mean, so what if Trent Bolt's knocks a couple of batsmen early on? So those things are actually have started to come in my mind. But then 80% of my system remains focused. Right, all right, this team is going to go all the way and do the job. Because I mean, for now we are playing in our conditions, and this should definitely suit us. What do you guys have to say, Praneeth? Let me take you.
Yeah, that's true. In this World Cup, even though we are thinking that okay, all the matches were one-sided, but India was challenged. Let's take India versus Australia. India were 2 for 3. That's the worst start anyone can think of, and somehow India pulled it off, right? And even in England game, that was the uh, first match they have played in the World Cup as batting
Batting
first,
first.
Yes. That
right?
first.
And somehow they defended the target. And even the way they defended yesterday's game, that was
Yeah.
that was a no context contest actually.
It was not
So
defending actually. They
it was
demolished
not
Sri
defending
Lanka.
exactly. Yeah,
Even
yeah,
the team meeting would have been longer than that.
right. Yeah. So that's the thing, right? Like now the discussion about Sri Lanka game is so less. That's why we are talking about other things, right? So for me, I'm pretty much positive about it. Like even though uh, World Cup so far have been one-sided for India, they had some challenges and they have pulled through it. So even though in the knockouts, like you're saying that what if Trent Bolt has a uh, early breakthroughs with that swing and all those things. I think India can manage and put up a good enough fight. So that's my hope, though. That's my confidence, though, in the team.
I
Yes.
mean, I would like to remain confident, and I'm confident to be,
Mhm.
but then there is a monkey of the back. Mohammad Amir
Mhm.
spell, Trent Bolt spell, Mr. Stark, running in sometimes. So as a worried fan, sometimes especially when we haven't won an ICC event in such a long time, and when the team is looking so good. I mean, uh, 2011, 2015, 2019. It's not just because we are winning it now, but the way we are playing absolutely in a very convincing way. Rohit Sharma starts from right at the top, goes after the bowling, and then there's a method to madness, even if he strikes the ball. I mean, as he mentioned in the press conference a couple of days back before the Sri Lanka game, Jaake said, "Udana nahi hota." I mean, you just gotta keep it there and thereabout. You just don't have to swing that. So I think, and then the assurance you have in Virat Kohli as the number 3 batsman. So that is actually giving a lot of people a lot of confidence, and then you have KL and Shreyas. Shreyas, everybody was talking about it. Just in case if Hardik is fit, then Shreyas would be the first. Either Shreyas or Surya, who would one of them would definitely sit out. And it was tilting in Shreyas' way, wherein he wasn't performing and he was getting out on those short balls again. So, and what an orchestra! I mean, So I think the headache is going to be what if Hardik Pandya is fit? would you guys think we should still take him back in the side and rest? Drop. It's not going to be rest. It's going to be a drop. Drop Surya or Shreyas. I don't think Shreyas would be dropped now, and I don't think you can rest even one between Shami and Siraj as well, because you never know when they're going to put their hands up and come up with a blinder of a performance.
That's true. Shami is in a great form, and you need to utilize that as much as possible when someone is that in that form. So resting Shami wouldn't be a great idea at this time. And for me, at this time, Surya Kumar Yadav has to make way for Hardik Pandya if he gets fit. And Shreyas Iyer, whatever, like we say, all his issue is that short ball and all those things. But his main issue is that he doesn't value his wicket much. Like in the yesterday's game, he was trying to take the innings deep and he would accelerate later. But in the initial part of the World Cup, he was just going for his shots and he was getting out. So I actually wonder how he would do it with the South Africa game with the likes of Marco Jansen and Gerald Coetzee, who are going to bowl short balls, right? So that is the number one test for him.
Let me go straight to Shravan now and ask him, because it's his favorite side. How do you think? I mean, what do you think South Africa would do if they win the toss?
They will bat first. What they have been doing is batting first and just batting out the opponents. But I don't think that will be a case against India if they bat first. That much of confidence.
I think the best way to defeat South Africa would be if India wins the toss, bat first.
Yeah, bat first.
Score, even if India scores 280 or 300, all right?
Mm-hmm.
India can bowl South Africa out. Why? Yes. Because India has bowlers who can pick wickets in the middle overs. I mean, that's where we have
exactly will offer something for the pacers.
Yeah, and then South Africa against Kuldeep. South Africa against Kuldeep, that's not going to be a proper matchup. I mean, obviously you'll have to be prepared if Miller comes out and takes it to the bowling and then taunts a few balls and gets the game in their favor. But then again, going by the current form, I think India has that edge over them, has edge over South Africa, especially with the way the top three are bowling. What do you guys think, Shravan?
Yeah, South Africa definitely will bat first if they win the toss, and if India are going to win the toss, and India should bat first and put some decent total, not even a mammoth total like 370, 380, but 300 would do the job for India. And South Africa off late, they are not chasing pretty well. They even messed up the game against Pakistan also. They completely lost against Netherlands, but against Pakistan, they were very comfortable at one point, but somehow they lost track and they really made a mess of that. So it would be what do you say? It's a plain game, winning toss and bat first. Even if South Africa won the toss and they put up a good total, I think still India can chase it down. Even if it is a big target, I think I will put my bets on India. On the contrary of Shreyas Iyer and Hardik Pandya, I would really just wait and see how Shreyas Iyer going about against South Africa in Eden Gardens, and then we can decide whether to drop Shreyas. So Junaid. So it's going to be against South Africa. I think India will win the match. Whether we bat first or second, we are going to win that game. And coming to that Shreyas Iyer and Surya Kumar Yadav conundrum, I would really wait and watch how Shreyas is going about in the game against South Africa. As for me, I would personally drop Shreyas Iyer instead of Surya Kumar Yadav. He can give me that extra edge over in the finishing of an inning. So we wouldn't trust Jadeja much in finishing the innings. Even yesterday, he was not up to that mark as a finisher, an explosive finisher who can give some big overs towards the end. So I think keeping Surya Kumar Yadav in the mix will be a very good one, even if Hardik Pandya comes back.
So, I mean, Hardik comes into the side for you, Shravan, straight away as soon as he's fit.
Definitely, yes.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, now,
Definitely.
Just in case...
We have second thoughts.
Let's put it this way. I mean, hypothetically, if he doesn't get fit in time before, obviously, South Africa, I don't think he's going to be fit, even for the Netherlands games. And he's fit for the semi-finals. Would you consider him? I mean,
definitely.
Taking the magnitude of the game.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, right now, I mean, it's that sort of a scenario wherein you don't want anything to be a matter of excuse. All right, should have we
Yes.
played Hardik, or we should have gone with the same lineup, something like that. So
I mean,
that is
see,
actually more on my mind, because I mean, maybe it's just that it's an overthinking thing. Why? Because you don't want to lose a game just because Hardik wasn't there. All right, he wasn't playing. He was injured. The rest of the team was doing well. You break the winning momentum and draft Hardik in, and maybe he goes for 17, his 8 overs, and if you lose the game, then what? So these are the things, like, normally
mhm.
as a fan, it keeps crawling into your mind.
But see,
Uh,
Hardik, along with his all round as a all rounder, he also brings in that leadership quality, right? Which is really necessary in the knockouts, especially when India kind of uh, hasn't been able to convert those semi-finals finals into a World Cup or a trophy. So
Mhm.
Hardik Pandya could also be an asset in that aspect also, even if he doesn't do well in, let's say, his bowling or a batting, but in his leadership contribution he will be an asset for.
Mhm.
So if Hardik Pandya is fit, even in the knockouts, and he comes in straight away,
Okay.
right? And
So what? Yeah, sorry, go on.
also like you're saying that Hardik Pandya, if he has to bowl 8 overs, it's not really necessary if the five bowlers are doing really well, right?
You're right. Yeah. No, no, no. Let's not. I mean, I'm actually asking everybody at home. Let's not think too much. Let's
yes.
not,
Don't do that.
talk too much. Let's, like, one ball by one ball, like, ball by ball. Let's not, like,
Yeah,
let's not celebrate nothing. Like, let's win the
yeah.
trophy, and then do,
Yes.
because I saw yesterday on Sports Tuck on other channels, like, Vikrant Gupta was dancing on one of the on Sports like YouTube, and I was like, man, like, just relax for a couple more games. I know everybody wants to celebrate, but I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to celebrate, because I wanted to go for any of these games, but then I was like, no shit. If I go and then they lose, then I don't want that to happen. Let them win the World Cup, and then I might just go and watch another game against Australia, a T20 game. So, I mean, as fans, you also have that thing in your mind. But then I think the way the team is playing, I mean, it gives you a lot of confidence. Basically, the way the batters are performing, especially the bowlers now. I mean, you do have teams who are ranked as the best bowling units on social media, and then you do have teams who are delivering it on ground. So nobody actually gave India a chance as far as their bowling was concerned, 2 months back. Even before Asia Cup, I think I won't be, like, lying if I say we gave India a chance in that context. Why? Because
Yeah,
in terms of going all the way through, I mean, we did say, or maybe I was discussing with somebody else actually. So because we never had that thing in place, wherein we never had a sorted unit. Why? Because there was a lot of players who were playing. Who were not playing. Who were not a part of the regular fixture, India games, and then the other units. I mean, Pakistan was looking so stable at that point of time. There was Australia, England, everybody, and the way things have turned around in the last 6 weeks or so is incredible. I mean, look at England. I mean, the way they started. Sorry, and the way they are in this tournament. I mean, what has happened to England? I mean, this is something that I couldn't register basically. I mean, bad leadership, uh, weather contributing to it, the conditions. I mean, most of them play in the IPL, so I don't think there should be enough reasons for them not to perform here.
I mean, see, with England, it's not about leadership or conditions or whatever. It was just that somehow they kind of took that baseball approach way too far. You could put it that way. None of the matches they have played 50 overs. The only match they won, that's the match they have played 50 overs. Otherwise, they haven't played 50 overs in any of the games. So that's an alarming fact, right?
Plus, what I observed was, especially in the game against India, some of the batsmen, the way they got out, they never looked interested in batting actually. The way Ben Stokes was playing, right? He was trying to go after Shami for at each and every delivery. I mean, that is, I mean, if he's bowling right in those areas, like, at least give it some time before you try it and attack him or try and take him down, right? So he
Yeah,
was, I don't know what he was trying to do basically, and then it was all over the place in next 5 or 6 overs or so.
yeah, that's what is happening with the current modern cricket approach, right? Like if there's a dot balls for like 10-15 balls, people are going for that, slow.
Release shot.
They will go for that release shot, which is like a six. They don't even think about, what, let's just rotate a strike and get on other end, right? They So the teams are getting restless, and because of that, people are not even playing their entire quota. The teams are not playing their entire quota of 50 overs, and so in 2019 World Cup, everyone's mindset was, okay, we need to score as many runs as possible. Now teams' mindset should be, please play 50 overs.
Yeah.
Don't let it go unutilized. Like, think about Pakistan, South Africa.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say.
If
If they
Pakistan
had
played
batters,
those 3 overs,
yes,
it would have
been
made a
different
huge
story for them.
difference. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not about scoring those boundaries in the last 18, 20 balls or so. There could be a few wides. There could be an overthrow. There could be one loose ball that might go for a boundary. So you could have at least added on maybe 15, maybe 12, maybe 15, maybe 18. You never know. I mean, that could have been the decisive factor at the end of the day, but that was not meant to be. And it's not just Pakistan actually. I mean, there have been so many teams who haven't gone on to play those 50 overs. Just went ballistic with the batting approach, and then have ended up playing less number of overs.
Yeah, I think England was very egoistic in their approach. They don't want to look blank against any opponents. They started this baseball approach and they want to stick on to that very firmly, irrespective of condition, opponent, situation, whatever it is. I'm going to hit a boundary on each and every delivery. See, there are 300 deliveries are going to come in an ODI cricket, 300 legal balls. What they're trying to do is, I'm going to hit a boundary or a six for each and every 300 deliveries. That's what their mindset is, and I think the overpricing of England side also put a lot of pressure on them. I think uh, each and every what do you say? Each and every cricket watching spectator was putting that enormous pressure on them. Oh, England is coming! Just put 11 members on the team sheet and put 11 players on the ground, and they will win your games. And I think that made them a bit egoistic, and they don't want to change that, and they don't want to they don't want to apply to that. Even the first game they were exposed pretty badly against New Zealand. I think
Yeah.
from that blow, I think they never recovered from that.
They're very
And
good.
the
And
blow from
also,
Afghanistan was right onto their chest, and they were literally hopeless against India. That's the word I would say. They're not interested. They're not like interested. They were just hopeless. What we are going to do? Anyway, we are lost. We have lost these many games, and also they were not even aware of that Champions Trophy position. Also, even in the last game
Now,
only,
just in
they
case,
thought,
your words should definitely motivate Babar Azam and his team. The way you said, they were never interested. Now they would be hoping that they don't turn up interested on 11th of November as well, because just in case if Pakistan knocks over New Zealand tomorrow, because New Zealand are marred with a lot of injuries now, so that could actually give a realistic chance to Pakistan if somehow they put up a better performance, and then England, if they turn up the way they did in the last few games, then you never know. I mean, India could be going to Eden Gardens.
yeah, I will be okay with Pakistan facing Pakistan in a semi-final rather than New Zealand or
No,
Australia.
I don't want that to
No,
happen.
no, no, no. In that, I won't agree on that. If we are facing Pakistan, definitely we'll go to finals. There
No,
is
because
no
the thing is,
doubt on that.
I don't want players to be in any sort of pressure from outside. Okay,
They are not feeling any
because what
pressure
happens is,
actually.
because what happens is the media would hype it in such a way, media from both the countries, and the fans would be so pumped up and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that the players can't handle the pressure; they can, but it's just that okay, maybe in the next World Cup, but this World Cup you have to win it. I mean, this is the best team that can actually win the World Cup, and it's not about being long enough, but it's just that my thinking is Australia have got 5 and we are on 2, so I want those that chase to cut down way too soon. So basically I want that to be overtaken in my lifetime. So that's the reason I want India to win a World Cup right now when
Okay.
this is the time. I mean, you never know what it's going to be after 4 years. So,
I will put it this way now. Okay, again semi-final, which team would you prefer, Pakistan or Australia?
well, okay, if it's that way, then I think Pakistan would look an easy bet because
yeah,
Australia, I want somebody else to knock Australia out. to be very
Yes,
honest with you.
I don't
Because,
want India face again Australia.
But you
yeah,
know
Even with
what?
this
Like
form,
in
I don't want them.
but currently the top fours, like South Africa, Australia, and New Zealand, all three of them are equally lethal. So that's how it is, right?
But South
Like
Africa didn't chase well, Pranit. So
yeah,
they clearly lack a bit in composure while chasing. So we can apply pressure. We really defended really well. Even
I
defended.
think,
We
I mean, the way
demolished
India
both
is playing,
England and Sri
it doesn't
Lanka.
really matter who comes into that. I mean, let's put it that way, because there's only one man that I'm really scared of if Australia make it to the semifinals
Yes.
against India, Travis Head, because he will set the tone up front. If he gets like 70, 80 of, like, let's say 50 balls, then I don't know, because that will be a test of time for most of the players in the Indian dugout. Like, how you respond when somebody takes the game away from you so early on in the match. So that would be a real test of character. So that's where somebody like a Hardik Pandya would come in, because he's that hard player, like, who can actually take on the bowling and then deliver, get the wickets. So what happened to Pakistan, Praneeth? I mean, where did their campaign go wrong?
see, like honestly, to start with, they never they were never tested with top teams in their
Hmm.
entire FTP cycle, and uh, also to be fair on Babar, like there are a lot of things which are going in the background in the management, like the way
You're right.
things are panning out, right? And also Babar Azam doesn't have that captaincy skills on a high level where he could, uh, where you could boss the game. Like in the Savera Pasha channel, Ali says that elite mentality. Babar Azam doesn't have that, right? And somehow he was not really sure with the team, and uh, and there's the thing, right? Like when you Shadab Khan was there, you clearly know he's not in form, and
Yeah.
somehow you didn't you carried him with carried him in the main squad, main playing 11, and you kind of lost matches there itself, right?
Yeah.
And Usama Mir also, you bought him in the Bangalore game, which is a proper belter wicket, and you're expecting Usama Mir to perform in that doesn't really make sense, right? Where
True.
Australia, Marsh and Warner gave that explosive start from the right go, and yeah, that's what it is. And also Naseem Shah not being there, that's the
I think,
biggest
yeah, I mean,
setback.
yeah. Well, I mean, for me, the way I look at it, uh, it's like they were never in it since the ODI that was played in Hanbantota, the one ODI which was stretched for 2 days, right? So
Mhm.
once they lost that game, all that papering over cracks and everything, that came out. All right, okay, you've got this problem. You've got a middle order conundrum. You have an issue with your fast bowling unit. If Shaheen doesn't pick up wickets up front, then the whole bowling unit looks lackluster. You cannot turn towards the captain for ideas. He doesn't make the right decisions. Then you have the selection problem. Then you don't have players in the backup who could come in and do the job for the team. So, I mean, it wasn't just one problem for Pakistan. And then once they lost the India game, they were actually looking for corners, trying to, like, find those spots where people could go and hide. I mean, I'm not talking about the team. It was more so of a problem with the management. Everybody, like, I actually followed a few channels at that point of time, because I actually, like, I just followed India games afterwards. I mean, I'm actually watching each and every World Cup game, but then the post match stuff that you do on YouTube, I'm actually not much interested in that right now. I just do it for India game. So at that point of time, it was more so on Mickey Arthur, and then Inzamam, and then the rest of the other people. I mean, people were actually having a go at them because they they haven't lived up to the expectations of the fans, basically. So I mean, there could be changes, definitely. Most of the fans are actually, like, proper true fans of the Pakistan team, are actually hoping that once the team goes back to the country, then there would be ramifications. Babar might be stripped down of the captaincy, and then somebody would be uh, asked to take over, and then some of the players might actually lose their positions as well. So you never know. I mean, I think they were never in the mix of the things. Basically, you never know. I mean, even now they can turn up, win tomorrow, and then win against England, because
Mhm.
if just in case, because Sri Lanka is really hurt now. if they come back and beat New Zealand, you never know. Things can still turn out to be in their favor. And if it's a semi-final game, right, then the talks would be completely different. All right, look, Babar actually got the team through to the semi-final. So one semi-final here, one semi-final there, one final there. He's a good captain. So and still he could manage to keep his captaincy. So that is one narrative being developed, and the other narrative is Babar should go. So which
Yeah,
side do you think you would be on?
yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, see, Babar Azam, he doesn't have that, and that is affecting on his batting also, right? We don't
Yes.
want that. See, Babar Azam's strength is his batting. He's the best batter. They That's what the Pakistan claims, right? He's the best modern day batter, right?
Yeah.
So at this point, what do you want? Do you want his batting prowess, or would you want his captaincy right now? So I would rather take a batting prowess, and also uh, Pakistan, if they end up coming in the knockouts, right, all these issues go under the carpet, like
Mhm.
the way it happened in 2022 T20 World Cup. Like initially, they were like they lost to Zimbabwe, and everyone were like literally pissed off. But the moment they are runner up, everyone forgot about that their issues. Everything is hunky dory. There's nothing wrong with the
As nothing
Pakistan
happened.
team,
Yeah.
and the same issues have come up now. Uh, so whatever, even Ali says that I hope that Pakistan team doesn't make it, because I really don't want those issues to be addressed. I don't
Mhm.
want the same issues to be uh, repeated in the
Brush,
next
brushing it
tournament.
under the carpet, sort of, right?
Yeah, that shouldn't happen. So at this point, Babar's captaincy, he shouldn't be a captain going forward, right? Because we need to salvage his batting rather than
Mhm.
proving everyone wrong, saying that he's learning and he would be a better captain if we give more opportunities. You
Look,
already
for
got
me, I
more
mean,
opportunities in 4 years.
yeah, I mean, it's like if you don't learn in the first 6 months or 1 year, then you would never learn. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe it's just like you have to compromise with the situation and say, all right, maybe it's not my forte. Okay, I may be
Mhm.
really good at something else, so let's leave it for now, and then take on the other job at hand. I mean, that's
Yeah,
exactly what
exactly. Like
they should do. Wherein, I mean, there have been some great players who haven't turned out to be really, really good captains. So we have our own example. We have
Sachin
Brian
Tendulkar.
Lara, Sachin Tendulkar. We
Sachin
have Brian
Tendulkar,
Lara.
yeah.
Yes,
See,
right.
like,
So
even though they are not good captains, that doesn't mean that they don't have a
yeah,
cricketing brain. Like
yes, they do.
Sachin
Yeah, of
takes
course.
Tendulkar for example. Like he has a amazing cricketing brain and all those things, but he wasn't a good leader. And no matter, it doesn't sound good, but people have to accept it and move on. And it holds true for Babar Azam as well. Right.
It really hurts for me. I'm a ardent Sachin fan. You're saying he's not a very good leader. It really hurts me. But I would say I would put it in this way: he's an unlucky captain. He didn't have that squad to
Yeah, yeah.
support.
Like that was
Please,
also
let's
that
put
was
it that
also
way.
there, but yeah, we could put it that way. Yeah.
True.
So yeah, for Pakistan, there are too many problems. It's not going to be solved in a day or two. So they should sit. And first of all, going into the team, I think they should finalize the selection committee first. They should give them a stable period of time to work on the
Inzamam
team.
has
And
resigned actually, so you never know what
yeah,
would come.
they have some
He was the
musical
first
chairs
person
in
to
that
jump
committee.
off the boat. Actually, they're like, "Yeah, shit, I'm not going to be here. So you do whatever you want to do." And, he's just like,
I
So
mean, there
first
is
of
an
all,
issue with dishonesty, right? Like even before the World Cup, Hafiz just resigned
yeah,
because there was some sort of a issue which he felt there was an intellectual dishonesty, and he was like, "I'm not going to be a part of it," and they left. So if this
yeah.
goes on, these issues are going to be there. So somehow, someone needs to take that accountability and
Well, actually, what
be
I have
honest with
seen
each
is
other.
they never developed a team. Okay, because okay, I'll give you one example. Bumrah wasn't a part of 2021 World Cup squad. He wasn't a part of the championship, the World Test Championship, and then he wasn't a part of the 2022 World Cup squad. But nobody from the Indian camp went out in public and said, "Oh shit, we are missing Bumrah." Right? We have to bank on the players we have at our disposal. Period. Right? Now here you just get to see right from the top, from the chairman till the fans of the lowest order. I mean, everybody is the same, but then just to bring that thing up, everybody has that excuse that it's just because Naseem Shah wasn't there. The team didn't perform well. Even Babar said that in the press, we are missing Naseem, right? That's fine. It happened way before, the tournament started. I mean, you weren't into the knockout stages and then, you just had a player pulled out from a match from a mid game and then, you lost it. So it wasn't that case. So why do I say that is because you never develop players in certain positions, basically. You never had a backup for, let's say, a Naseem or a Shaheen or even for Babar for that matter. What if Babar had got injured, right in the middle of the tournament? Do you have a replacement? Rizwan would have taken the captaincy, but who would have batted at number 3? So you just got those 14 or 15 players that you see. That is the face value of Pakistan cricket at the moment. You don't really have replacements, quality replacements, I should say. They don't really have a proper bench strength, in my opinion.
See, all these things also happen that board needs to give that assurance. Like take South Shakil, for example. He had to go for a sinusitis operation and somehow he lost the place in the team and he's like, when will I get the chance? Right. And if you take Indian players, for example, if Hardik Pandya just got injured, but he's not insecure about the spot in the team. And that assurance is given by the Indian board as well, like even Rishabh Pant for that matter.
I'll give you a prime example of that. What happened was Ajinkya Rahane got injured. Okay,
Karun Nair was playing, right?
Yes, Karun Nair came in, scored that 100.
And
Ajinkya Rahane was fit again. He was back, and then Karun Nair was told to sit. Okay, he was benched actually. He never got a chance afterwards. Why? Because you had a pretty settled squad. Because he was actually communicated and said, right, look, Rahane has been doing well for so long, right? So, I mean, it was an unfortunate incident. He got injured and then, he's fully fit. And so you have to give him that run. So that's how it goes sometimes. I mean, it's very unfortunate on Karun Nair. But then again, maybe professionalism. And then that's something that you don't get to see in Pakistan cricket, I guess, unfortunately. Even there was one left-hander. I forgot his name, actually.
Pawadala.
No.
In Indian team?
No, in Pakistan team.
In Pakistan team.
He was related to some left-handed opening batsman. Imran Farhat. Imran Farhat actually took a break just because, or he didn't travel with the team for one of the tours just because his wife was not well or something. That was the reason. And then that's it. Once he gave the place to somebody else, he wasn't considered at all for the next trip once his personal matters were sorted out. So that's one of the reasons actually players are reluctant to to rest or make themselves unavailable for some of the tours. They might not consider worthy enough. Like no disrespect to the team that they would be playing against, but even Babar goes to Netherlands and plays. I mean, just imagine that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how would you develop a team or the bench strength if you are not resting your captain or your senior players? That is something only board could answer.
That's true. Like
it also boils down to a very good domestic setup. The Pakistani domestic setup was not that much strong, and
no, actually they messed it up last time around.
Very good.
See, it depends upon the chances you give, right?
No. Actually, actually Imran Khan. I mean, most of them do say that the club structure was messed up by Imran Khan when he came into the government.
Right, yeah.
So that is something. So I think this government would actually be working to revive that. And again, I mean, it's not going to be an overnight thing or an overnight fix. It will take time to get things back into the foray again. But the problem is they go to Australia right after the World Cup, and they play test matches there. So I mean, it's going to be
first test match is in Perth. So
yeah.
So again, like even Pakistan, Shaheen Afridi used to play against Netherlands and all those things, and now everyone is complaining that Naseem Shah is not available. That's why Pakistan is not doing well. But he came into the ODI and T20 squad because Shaheen Shah Afridi had a knee injury. Otherwise, no one was even thinking about taking Naseem Shah in. So that's how Pakistan team operates. Like whenever there's a forced change, then only they will make the change. Otherwise, no one bothers about it. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most of the senior players are actually criticizing the Sri Lankan tour, giving no NOC to the players for Lankan Premier League,
Mhm.
and then there was another three-match series, ODI series against Afghanistan, and then the Asia Cup. So you played so many games in Sri Lanka just before the World Cup, 2.5 months to be precise, and then you do expect those niggles to come into picture because I mean maybe it's the grounds there or what. I mean the weather. I'm not quite sure about that, but that is exactly the information that was relayed on several platforms actually. So yeah, I mean they will have to go to the drawing board again and see where they have gone wrong and come back with a better team most probably in the next World Cup. So Afghanistan,
Yes.
how surprised are you guys? Because I mean I remember I said this when we did the pre World Cup shows at that point of time. Like we will at least have a couple of. I don't want to call it upset now because they have been. I mean, they haven't punched over the weight above their weight. Basically, they have actually it's more like a pound to pound fight. They have got themselves involved into Sri Lanka, England, Pakistan, and I think they are looking good for their fourth victory tonight.
Yeah, like now the main challenges would be against Australia and South Africa for the for Afghanistan. So uh, if they if they win one of those two,
Mm-hmm.
they can also be a contenders for semi-finals,
Yes.
right? Uh, like more than Pakistan, I feel like Afghanistan has a realistic chance for semi-finals.
Yes. Could be. Because I mean, winning 4 games is not a joke. Like I mean, beating three top teams, three former world champions, one defending champion, and then
So
what do you think?
at Chennai, we really expected Afghanistan to go up against Pakistan and Sri Lanka. We really bet on
Actually,
Afghanistan instead of Pakistan and Sri Lanka.
okay. I actually,
I was really
I don't.
surprised when they lost against Bangladesh. Actually,
That was actually a proper setback to them
yes. If
because I
they
mean, I
won that game,
actually
they would
thought
be in very uncomfortable position.
they would have actually made it to the you know
The top four.
semi-final by now. I mean, at least they would have been
Yes.
in proper contention. I
But
think they are
one
almost
upset
through
I would
now. I
say
think.
Netherlands against
And,
South Africa was a proper upset. The way South Africa were playing
yeah,
and South and Netherlands was a perfect speed breaker for them. And
yeah.
again, South Africa was not recovered from that uh, while chasing actually.
I think they are back in the foray now because they did beat. I mean, they had a comprehensive victory against New Zealand, uh, South Africa.
Yeah, again it was a mistake from New Zealand I would say because they won
Yeah,
the toss. Yeah, in
they gave the
Mumbai
batting to. I mean,
they really want to
you're
bat
actually
first.
seeing one team is being so dominant when they bat first, and you
Yes.
invite them, and they say, "Right, take the bat. Here you go." So
Even yesterday, I thought Sri Lanka would bat first and they put some runs on board, and later we will chase it down in Wankhede, but it never happened.
I
I
mean,
don't know what
see,
was the thought process behind it.
everyone is like, so worried about Dew will come on. It would be hard for hard for the bowling team in the second innings and all those things.
mm,
But the thing is, most of the teams are getting like uh,
Hammered.
five wickets or 6 wickets down by the time the Dew comes in. That is something no one is
exactly,
factoring in, right?
yeah. Because even
And
yesterday's decision by Kushal Mendes to invite India to bat first was a shocker because West Indies,
Mm.
I mean, sorry, Wankhede Stadium, you don't actually expect teams to, field first. I mean, put the runs on the board and then see how it goes from there on. Because I mean, you don't actually take due into consideration when you're actually batting first and then put up a good show. Because maybe those were demons from the Asia Cup final when they batted first and then bowled out for 55 or something. So that was playing on their minds. You never know because. But yesterday, I think even Ricky Ponting was there in the com box. Ravi Shastri. They said, all right, it was win the toss and bat first sort of a wicket. I mean, they shouldn't have done this.
Yes.
Mhm.
Even England did the
Maybe
same
that
thing
was
against South Africa. England won the toss and they
also,
put on South
yeah.
Africa.
Also, Sri Lanka did the same thing against Pakistan, right? They batted
Mm.
first. They gave like 345, 350 target, and Pakistan ended up chasing. That could also played a bit in Kusal Mendes' mind, right? So
Yeah.
maybe they won't be able to defend the total when the Dew is around. So that's why they could have went with it. right? So
True.
even I think Ravi Shastri was saying the stats, right? Out of 33 games, only nine games were won by the team who have won the toss. So clearly they have been you know uh, taking the wrong call at the toss, right?
True.
So one of the factors is due. Giving too much importance to the due, that was one of the factors which I feel.
I think they're approaching like it is a T20 game. Like the game starts at 7 or 7:30, then later on at 9 or 9:30, the dew will sit down. And that's how they are thinking. Okay, when we start the second innings, there will be dew comes around and the ball will come on to nicely. But it is not the case in this World Cup. It's been like a win the toss, bat first and put some runs on the board, and then later on you can defend it. That's the kind of thing that was happening in this World Cup, and teams are not even accepting that. Even the smaller teams like Netherlands and Afghanistan, initially they were like reluctant to bat first eventually, but after getting that first win or second win, uh, they started to playing their strength.
Mhm. True. Right, guys. Is there anything that we can discuss, or we can call it a day and then circle back in a couple of days' time, or maybe on India game on Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday can.
Yeah, Sunday we could catch up.
Sunday we can do a pre-game show,
Mhm.
right?
We can do
Right.
a
Right,
mid-game
guys.
show.
Thank you
That's
so
easy.
much, and we can catch each other up on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.